Alright, what's up guys? Today we're going to go over the importance of buying OEM parts versus cheap aftermarket parts. Alright, what's up everyone? So today I'm going to tell you a little story of why you should probably use OEM parts on your cars. Alright, so this is our 2005 Volvo XC90 and it has a 4.4 liter, which is the V8 from Japan. Yamaha made it. So it's a great motor. But anyways, we bought this car with a check engine light, and the check engine lights were both codes P0171 and P0174. That's Bank 1 and Bank 2 lean codes. And those are very common codes on this car. However, we had kind of a problem figuring out why we had those. This is our motor, right? When we bought it, we were aware of the codes that it had. And the previous owner told me he replaced the mass airflow sensor and that didn't fix anything. The car itself has no drivability issues. It drives perfectly fine. The only thing that's wrong with it is it has a check engine light present, but no issues when we're driving it. So when we're going through the lean codes, the most common things were regarding the PCV system, which unfortunately a good amount of it runs under this intake right here. So you're gonna have to remove the upper part of the intake. We went ahead and replaced the pressure crankcase ventilation valve, which is, if you don't know, runs right next to this motor mount. You're good. Alright, so the pressure crankcase regulating valve is right next to this motor mount down here. So you're gonna have to take out the motor mount and the plastic cover along the back of the cylinder head. But that's one place you get to it. It's a common source of failure. If not, you had the PCV lines that run underneath this intake that you have to take off and get to. So we went ahead and replaced the PCV system, made sure that was alright. But it wasn't. We still had the codes, didn't clear the codes. So when we looked at our live data, our fuel trims were off. So the motor was putting a lot more fuel into it to compensate for whatever was causing the check engine light. But we were lost at it. We took it to Volvo, and they were lost too. They looked at it, they said everything looked to be in spec, all the trims looked to be at least decent. So they came back and told us, well, maybe it's your mass airflow, or maybe it's your purge solenoid, or evap purge solenoid. They didn't want to give us a definition because they a definite diagnosis, but we had to just deal with what they advised.
So at this point, it was just basically anything could have been wrong, huh?
Pretty much, or pretty much just kind of in the dark. What we ended up doing was, since the previous owner told us he replaced the mass airflow, I went ahead and bought a evap purge solenoid, which I went ahead and replaced myself. And I'll show you the location of this one. The evap purge solenoid, as you can see, is right here. I relocated it. It normally runs a little bit lower and at a 90-degree angle. But mine, which is right there, I went ahead, you can see it right there, with the hoses come to it. I went ahead and replaced that one. So after replacing the evap purge solenoid, our codes didn't clear either. So we still had the same codes. We still had no vacuum leaks because everything was smoke tested, and we're stuck again. That's when I decided to finally take a look at the mass airflow sensor that the previous owner put in, and the previous owner put in a Duralast mass airflow sensor. I just have it. So this was the Duralast mass airflow sensor, DL3000 Duralast.
Pretty good.
So the mass airflow sensor was good enough to allow the car to run, but not run exactly right. Our fuel trims were off, and it was because of the Duralast mass airflow sensor. We went ahead and ordered a Volvo original mass airflow sensor. Here's the part number.
Nice.
A658471. And we plugged that in, cleared the codes, drove around a little bit, and that solved our problem.
Magic.
So that's why I'm making this video, to let you guys know the importance of using OEM parts. Some parts you may be able to get away with using other aftermarket parts, but things as mass airflow sensors, and especially on European cars as Volvos, BMWs, all that type of stuff, you want to use OEM parts. Otherwise, you're going to be chasing around looking for something that all could be because of a faulty aftermarket part.
Yeah, the Duralast seems like it had some compatibility issues, huh?
That's what happened. That's what happened here, and it led us on a goose chase. We chased all around, trying to figure out what was wrong.
How much money do you save if you get the Duralast versus if you get the OEM?
We saved about $60, but at the same time, $60 I spent more on replacing other stuff that wasn't wrong.
Interesting, huh?
Interesting. So, just letting you know, there are times where you need to buy OEMs, and if you have a European car, you should be buying OEM parts, OEM, original manufactured parts. So,
thank you for watching this video, guys. If you guys like our videos, don't forget to click on the thumbs up and subscribe down below.